Hi guys, how you doing? Welcome to Adventures with Motive. In this episode, I tackle that little rock behind me. If you're curious to know how, what, where and when, then you need to keep on watching. I would just like to ask, if possible please, as you've been so good in the past, to click the like buttons, click the share buttons, or don't click the like buttons and don't click the share buttons. Reverse psychology, you like it? Cue the intro. Okay, Monday afternoon. I've got rid of my scrap. It was in the trailer. Boy, has that scrap price took a plummet. £750 for a tonne of aluminium. I walked out of there with £4 for the aluminium and £21 for the steel, including one large engine that I threw away. So yeah, scrap has took a plummet. I left it too long. Should have got rid of that at the beginning of, say, when I started filling it, but never mind. That's just the way it is. It was a necessity to get rid of it because it was in the way, and had it stayed there any longer, I can guarantee you I would have started picking stuff out of it and bringing it back in. That's just who I am. I like to recycle as much as I can, but I need to clear this. We can always start again. Anyway, Monday it is. Got 4 pieces of plywood set aside to redo this wall, so I'm tired at the moment. I've only had 4 hours sleep. The edit on the previous video that went up, that had me up till 4 in the morning. 4 sheets of plywood going up on that wall. I've got some scaffold boards set aside, so what we're going to do is we're going to cut some of the boards down the centres to make up some battens. So we're going to run, I'm not really sure how strong is this wall. Well, first things first, we need to run some ply along that. We need to replace that rotten beam at the bottom, so we're going to knock all of this out, get rid of all of this wood here and everything, so we've just got a straight plain wall. Excuse the breeze. Well, 4 sheets of ply. This smaller one is going to be the divider wall. I'll take that other one down in the shed and put that one up instead. 2 scaffolds, they've got to be sliced up into battens. We've got all that wood in there. They're the shelves, 2 aside, 4 shelves in total each side. That's a total of 8 shelves that will be staggered. Anyway, we need a new batten down the bottom here, so we might have to shoot off to a DIY store in town and get 1 piece of treated wood to go down the bottom there. We're shutting a lot of light out in between the 2 rooms. I don't really like it, but I need it. That's the problem. The only other way around. as I was saying, rotten wall, completely shot. But it lasted a little bit more than what that one did. I mean, this, so the state of this, I would say this is in the state that that was when 3 years ago when I decided it needed sorting out. So this one is about 3 years away from ending up like that was at the end. So that's it for the moment. That is definitely it for the moment. I'm going to have a break now. I'm going to wait for my lad. Right, I have bought myself some wood. Not cheap. Got told off at Wickes for buying it because it was in a pack of 6 and I wasn't prepared to pay £45 for a pack of 6. Just wasn't prepared to do it, especially when they're all bent and twisted. So I pulled 2 packs apart and managed to get that as the best I could find. It's treated. I think it needs to be when it comes to being on the floor. So we're going to rip out that last bit. I'm going to jack up the shed as best as possible and slide the new one underneath, screw it in. We'll cut it to the nearest post, which will be that one, across to there. Or just do, actually no we won't, we'll just put another block in next to it and screw in from there really. And we've got to tuck it in underneath there. So I'm probably better off starting down there first. It's not good, is it? But oh dear. Anyway, we'll slide that under. I'm not going to cry about it, there's no point. That piece of wood is still good, actually. This is a main prop for the roof, this one. Look at that, holding that up. And it's not rotten. Believe me when I say it's just not rotten, it's just very wet. That might be a piece of treated that I put in each side, I just can't remember. But they were brand spanking new cuts at the time of purchase. So what we're going to do, once I've got this bottom piece in, I'm going to stain all of that wood up just to protect it a little longer. And I'll do this beam as well, right the way down the bottom. And we'll paint all of that new wall white. So get it all up. It's still wobbly, but it's stronger than it was before. Not one of those beams were screwed in. They were screwed onto that, but they weren't screwed into that for some reason, and I have no idea why we didn't do that. So what we're going to do is stain it up. We've got some pressure treated wood down the bottom. I've had to cut 3 beams because they were just rotted, really gone. I had roots growing in the wood down here. Some hedge was growing in it. Every single piece of wood is ready to fall out. Over here is the worst. So we're not going to play around with that too much. All we're going to be doing at the moment is lining the wall to get the strength back. Then we will look in the summer at getting some more of that corrugated tin and lining the walls. But we need to tackle the internal lining of that wall next before we do the outside, because I want to rip all of the outside cladding off because it's completely shot. By which time we'll know how good that stuff behind here has fared. Right, it's all stained up now, as best as we could get it. Oh, I told him not to splash it everywhere. Boy. Anyway, first one's in. Didn't quite make it to the roof line. These are a little under 8 foot and a little under 4 foot. Bearing in mind they came out of some kind of machinery at the scrapyard. So yeah, first one's in. About to do the second one. Here goes on. Pretty sure that's marine ply. There's just something about it that's totally different from all the other wood I've used. Bit of the old stuff has gone up, but that's pretty rotten, to be honest. I was just trying to save money, but if there is enough wood left over after this, then that may come down and some replacement will go up. We're going to cut this rotten old bit here out, put a fill in. It sits a little bit thicker than the other stuff. We'll put a batten along the top, we'll put spray foam behind there eventually as time go by, but we do need to line the outer wall first before I do that. That should stop any drafts. The wall bow's in there because I overhit it with a hammer, so it didn't quite push up against neatly enough. And the corner down there, well, we've got a little rot out on that bottom corner piece of this. Unfortunately, that's what there is, so again, spray foam to stop the mice from getting in, hopefully. Probably not, but you never know. And then just little filling areas where we can paint up after, so I think someone's going to have to go and get me some spray foam. So yeah, so there you go, that's it. Battery's about to die. I need to put camera on charge, so I'll catch up with the next update today. Okay, well that didn't come out too bad, all things considered. We cut the rot out, quite literally just got the saw, overlapped two pieces of wood and slapped it out. We're not being particular, we just need it to work. So we'll paint that wall white, all of that will get whited out. All of that's going to get painted up for prime, sealing as well, because we're not going to be able to access that area very easily. And then we need to find a can of gloss for the wall and some more black for the sides. As you can see, we've got overpaint everywhere, but I ain't too worried about that because once everything's dry, we'll mask off and paint back. I really want to get these beams blackened out anyway, just so everything matches. So there you go. Next job, get some primer on there, which I'm going to do myself. I've just sent a lad up to get me a new switch for the table saw because it broke. Flipping thing. I kind of forgot to bring the camera out after tea. Sorry. It's got to come down again because we've got to paint them all up red. I don't want to infect all my white paint. Wife's coming out in a little while to help me paint the wall because she claims she's bored. She did help me with the roof. She claimed she was bored and regretted it instantly. So it's getting late now. I need to put the other wall in before I can even consider making the framework. So I think the best thing all round is pull it off, paint that all up red as best as possible and where I can. Although I've got to admit, it does look nice and it's raw wood look. But the problem is, trying to get past for this one. Get over there. Right, the problem is, everything that's going on that is really oily. So, that's it for the night. Well, no it ain't, because I'm going to paint them next. I've got to sand them back gently and I'm going to paint them all up. But first things first, a cup of coffee, guys. Okay, the red is on. That's going to show the stains through. It's just not the best paint, but it's good enough. Unfortunately, I forgot the order of the shelves and I've gone all over the place because I had it specific, so each one went in its own slot and everything matched up perfectly on the edges, and as you can see, We've still got a lot more painting to do as yet. We've got to tidy that white up for starters. I'm not going to be able to put any more red paint around the battens, so I think what we might do is lay some newspaper down on top of this lot when it's dry and paint the undershelves white. That way we can get a little bit of glow of light come down and make life a bit easier. But as you can see, it's a bit of a mess. The wood is not in the best of condition, and I didn't have enough post office red to take it to the end, unfortunately. So yeah, we kind of have a few problems going on here. So that's it really. That's all I can do for the moment. So I'm going to go in, have some lunch and come back out in a couple of hours. We'll see if we can somehow trim off that edge there, which really hasn't gone very well, and we'll put a piece of wood in going up, screw it into there if I can find enough screws, and that'll help support that area of the shelf as well. Oh, morning, Friday morning today. I'm going to try and get this finished this week. I'm not doing any more videos on this shed until summertime, which will be addressing all of that mess and the other room over there. That wall's got to come down. This has also got to be lined, but that is for another video later on. This one is coming to a close now. We have not got much more to do. I painted last night. Oh. You know where that's coming from, under there. No wonder I can't get the walls to dry out. Anyway, that's neither here nor there at the moment. I painted last night all of the roof. We've just got to get the black painted in now for the boarding. Ooh, that's dry. That surprised me. Well, tacky and platy, they're still tacky there though. So that's almost dry. So we can paint the red around all the beams that are connected to this, and we can paint these black, blah blah blah, and go. Well, I don't know if I've got enough black to do that one, but we'll see where we end up. We've just got to touch in some paint on the ceiling over there. Other than that, yeah, that's supposed to be downhill over there. That can't be downhill if the water is coming to the centre. So what I suspect has happened, if I was to scrape that back, I'd probably find a crack running through the middle. That's a pain, because it's got all my wood wet as well. Oh well, not a lot I can do about it. At the moment, we need to get the stuck. I need to get the outer wall done, and I think that is going to be more of an urgency than I anticipated. But it is looking good. So all the black need doing up there. Need touching all the black there where I hit it with white. I think I might do that beam there, but that big beam in the middle, I think that might get painted white just because I ain't got enough black to do it all. That's the nuisance of the whole thing. Lack of money. Not that I'm complaining. Things have moved forward. I have just knocked that up in about an hour and a half, and it's a false wall. Actually, it looks more like a door. Yeah, I could put another one there if I wanted, but I think it would be more of a hindrance than it would be useful. Even if I was to swing the hinges on that and then corrugate it around like so, it'd still be a blinking nuisance. And I don't think I need it, because we are eventually going to get to this room and we're going to seal up all the gaps. I mean, that's a big job. I reckon I'm going to end up taking a whole lot apart if I can't get that wall down. That wall over there's got to go as well, and we've got a concrete under with those engines and all around the back. So yeah, by the time I finished over there, that'll be as watertight as what this is going to be. I would say is, but it isn't, as we both know. Now basically what we've got here is a veneered bit of MDF. I did not know this was MDF when I took it from the yard, but it is pretty rotten. I mean, it's coming off very easily, so there's nothing. This stuff's expensive, I know that for a fact, but there you go, it swings out. We've just got to cut all the lengthy screws off, because I made a mistake of asking for 60 long screws when really all I needed was about 40s, which would have got me double in the pack. Never mind. It's a little sticky up the top, but it works. The idea is to put 2 deadbolts on, one at the top, one at the bottom, and then this unit here will get 4 brackets screwed to it, and it'll be screwed to that wall somewhere or bolted through. Because that cabinet is on swivels, we can swing that whole door out with the cabinet still joined, with the pillar drill bolted to the top. Otherwise, it's going to be a case of wheel it across there. Well, we'll see how that all pans out, but the idea was to, I mean, I could latch that on, I suppose. We're starting to shift stuff about now. We've got 3 brackets. I had to really reinforce that top one, but I've just bent over some normal angle brackets. If that becomes a problem, I'll just put another 2 brackets in below that and join them together with nuts and bolts, see. But we glued that one on. Ain't going anywhere. Forgot about that stand. There we go. Temporary. I said I would hang their flag for a bit. So there you go. Brothers of the Third Wheel. It's a Triker organisation based in the UK. They are worldwide. They originated by a guy called Mr. Sickler in America in the early 80s. They are a family group based Trikers. What I mean by that is they do not have MC or MCC protocols. They are just a bunch of people that are riding 3 wheels of all types and just literally go around the countryside, have rallies and just have a good laugh, a good booze up now and again, and that's pretty much who they are. And you can find them on the internet under www.brothersofthethird-wheel.uk. check them out. If you ride 3 wheels, go and check them out. You don't even have to ride 3 wheels, they will take anybody that's up for a laugh. So far. Oh, missed a bit. Do you know how tedious it is? Oh, painting them beams. Anyway, look, we've got a few more. Seriously, it's the best I can do. Those brushes are terrible. I've run out of paint, so I can't even finish half of it. So when I can get a better quality brush, I'll sort that black out a little bit better. But for now, for the video's sake, that's as far as I can take the black. Now, red next. Just going to touch over. We're going to leave them shelves. I don't really want to remove that paint, but I am going to paint that beam red, that back one, that underneath, all the others underneath, and if there's enough paint I might do the 2 top shelves red as well, undersides. And oh, I mucked it up. I can't get those brushes to bloody well cut in to the edges at all. Oh, nightmare. I haven't even done up there. I've just give up with the red. It's horrible. So after tea I'm going to put the blowtorch over that, dry it as quick as I can, get some more white paint over that, and then that's it. I've had it. I'm done with painting. Driving me nuts. Absolutely. I'm getting there. Right, sandblaster has been moved. The bandsaw is in the position it needs to be when I finally get it fixed. Parts washer, apart from the fact that it needs a damn good scrub. It's been a long while since I used that, so that's just sat in the corner doing nothing. Oh, diesel and thinners, probably the worst product to put in a parts washer because it absolutely destroys rubbers. So we've got the head to put back on that. Hi guys, Saturday, I'm uploading this tomorrow. So today is the last day. Wherever we end up with this is where we end up. This is also the last video for a while on the shed. We will return back to the camion. That's French for lorry. So what we got today? Well, we're going to paint that in gloss, try and get half of that if we've got enough in gloss, so we'll have to move that. I want to put a bracket up on the wall here as well for the Evolution table saw to hang. I also have got a couple of DIY tubs, which is these. I love these because you just cut the top off and you can fill them. So we're going to try and get some of this rubbish off the table, because I need that for next week. These I think are air scoops for a Sea-Brew turbo twin that you put air thingy-jigs in, but I'm thinking about hanging them on the wall actually, because I need to find a home for all this lot eventually, and I don't think you can see them, but there's a load of stones on the bottom shelf for that surface grinder, so I'd very much like to be able to put them in some sort of tray system. But we are going to make something in a little while that will climb that wall, but how high it will climb I don't know at the moment. We've got loads of vices and other bits and bobs. I mean, we've got this big old thing here, we've got that one, we've got that one there, and there's a few other smaller ones as well. Ideally I need to move this shelf out of the way, because I need to pull the table across, because I need to move that over there. I need to get the pillar drill back in, so we can at least get that pillar drill mounted today. I'd be grateful. Hello, hello, what's going on here then? Paint's still wet. So yeah, we'll leave that where it is. We don't need that space at the moment, but when we do, we'll deal with it. Well, I made a start. It's rough. Really rough, because I can't find chisels. I had to do that with a screwdriver. Some old scrappy wood. That's all it is. It's the old ladder from the truck, altered. Little shelves on each one, grinder on top, and we've got literally, we have got that one and those two that need to find a home as close to that as possible. The only downside is the pillar drillers over there, and I also need one over there, but that's another story for another day. Unfortunately, yeah, it's scabby, it's crappy, but as long as it works, I don't care. So I've got two more shots. Crude. It's really crude, but it will work. So I can now get all of my machine shop vices on those shelves, and possibly grindstone at the top, but I think they're a little bit high, if I'm honest. I've glossed the walls as best as I could get it. A little bit of red spread in the white paint. I've gone as far as that line there, and it's still emulsion at the back. That one's all been done, so nice and shiny, paint. I've already marked that one. Right, so what's left to do? Well, that paint is still a bit wet. I can't put nothing on it. We use water-based on the sides and insides, but we used a harder wearing paint, and that's still wet. I put a flamethrower over to dry the water-based, because that really does dry pretty damn quick, which is why I put it up, because the white underneath is still very, very wet. So I can't really do anything else now, thinking about it, because that wall's wet, and I wanted to put some hooks up there for the table saw. Can't do that at the moment. So I think ideally we are pretty much finished with this video, because I can't put the bits and bobs on there. I need to put the head back on the machine, which is down there. That does need to go back on. What else is there to do? That's it, guys. I'm sorry, but I think this is the end of it. Absolutely the end of it. There's my door. I took that flag down because I've got other things going on that door now. I'm going to put little shelves on there above the pillar drill for my drill bits and my grind discs and all the rest of it. So I've opted for a smaller one, which is up there. Now, when that's dry tomorrow, we'll stick the old vice clamps on there, and we'll carry on as what we're doing, but I'm not going to film any of this, maybe the odd little bit, but other than that, no. I've got electrical power to thread through. I've got a light to fit up there, and I've got a lot of editing to do, so I think best thing all round is just to stop now and make a start on the editing. There is a hell of a lot of it. Got to level off some of the machinery because this concrete is horrendous. you can feel it as you're walking downhill, and then you hit that point there and then it goes flat. You almost want to trip over because you're just not expecting it. You keep thinking it's going to continue downhill. I don't actually know what has happened, not properly, and I'm wondering if I can somehow find a way of whacking that one down. That corner, I've got a whacker plate. I'm wondering if I can whack that whacker plate on there and that'll bring that down, but then what will happen is that one will sit high. Can't win. Unless I can whack that one down at the same time, which I think is going to be pretty much an impossibility. If I'm honest, if I'm realistic with myself here, I'm screwed. There you go. Nothing special. We can definitely say it ain't special. Alright, well, I'm out of here because I'm going to get to the point that I'm going to yap, and I'll never shut up. So guys, there you go. That's the shed done as far as we can take it for the moment. I'd like to say thank you very much for all the shares and comments that you've given on previous episodes of this shed, and I can't think of anything. We'll get back to the truck next week. What shall we do? We'll leave it a surprise because I don't actually know right this minute. I've got a wine rack I want to fit in there, but I need some plywood for that. We've got the electrical switches to put in, but I can't find where to put them. We've got the runners to remanufacture, but I need my bench cleared. What else is there? There's loads. We've got all the running gear to sort out, and I think I know why the engine's playing me up. I think, and this is based on 2 diesel fuel pumps that I've had lying around that have just not been used, and the diesel's gone a bit watery and crud. I think the pumps are seizing up and the injectors are starting to seize up. What I need to do, this has been advised to me because it's old diesel in there, very old diesel, is drain everything out. You see those drums, I don't know how much they carry, but there's probably about 3 of those in that fuel tank because I put a whole one of them in last year, which was not the best fuel in the world. So I think what we're going to have to do is drain that fuel out and put some fresh in, and with the current prices of fuel, that is going to hurt like hell. So yeah, what else is there need doing in that thing? There's loads of stuff. I can't even keep up with half of it. We've got the water to sort out. We've got to sort the LEDs out on that sink, that tap for the shower. I said sink, but it's the shower. Got that to redo because the LEDs are faffed up. I'm just trying to think what else is there. Stay tuned. That's all I can say. Stay tuned, and we'll see what we can come up with. Thanks for everything. Thanks for your love, your kindness, and I'll see you next week on another edition of Adventures with Motive. I nearly forgotten my own name there for a minute. Bye.